This is a Super C-Class ferry, a vital transportation cog working the coast of British Columbia. With way too much water for a bridge between the mainland and nearly 1 million residents who live on these islands, ferries are the only practical way to move thousands of people, their vehicles, and countless goods back and forth every day. This 160-meter, 10,000-ton ship can haul almost 2,000 passengers, 370 cars, and 32 tractor-trailers at the same time, making it and its two sister ships the largest double-ended ferries in the world. And that means more than having two doors. You need two wheelhouses, two propellers, two rudders, and 4 giant diesel engines. And then you need some advanced engineering and safety systems to keep it all floating. Let's see how it works. A double-ended ferry like the Coastal Celebration is basically a floating bridge powered by huge engines. You just drive in one end and out the other. This allows the ferry to load and unload all these cars and trucks in as little as 20 minutes. But this design creates a few problems. Having propellers on both ends is great for getting in and out of port quick, but how do you get them to work together? First up, propulsion. These monster engines crank up a pair of electric generators, powerful enough to supply a constant source of electricity to almost 20,000 homes. All of this energy flows to giant electric motors, one for each propeller. To change direction, just cut off power to one and send it to the other. The machine's propellers have a variable pitch mechanism that gives them total maneuverability. So when not in use, the blades turn and tuck into a streamlined position. That's basically how you make a ship with no front and no back. But the Super C ferries are so big and powerful, they need special engineering to make sure the parts can stand up to the pressure. Each motor spins the propellers with over 21,000 horsepower. Props this big create lots of bubbles and incredible amounts of water pressure. That's great for thrust and propulsion, but the action is also strong enough to compress air bubbles so much that they superheat and explode. It's a phenomenon called cavitation, and it would chew through the blades if they weren't made from a specially designed alloy that ensures long-term durability. The Super C's designers put a lot of thought into safeguarding mechanical parts on these ships. But what about the passengers? Fire is always a huge concern for ships at sea. The Super C-Class ferries use a high fog system that can put out just about anything in under 5 seconds. And it does it with 90% less water than a traditional sprinkler system. Nozzles are placed throughout the ship in key areas. Water is pressurized in this tank, then blasted through the nozzles that atomize it. The resulting mist blankets a large area, while pressure forces the fog down to the heart of the blaze. The key to its success is reducing the temperature of the fire and knocking it out as quickly as possible. The system can be activated by temperature gauges, smoke alarms, or manually. There's plenty of other things to keep a crew occupied out here, like other boats. When you're this big, you sure don't want to hit them or knock them over with a big wake. So the hull is designed with wakeless technology. The wide top section floats on a narrow underwater section, perfect for cutting through the water. And even when cruising at 25 knots, it produces almost no wake. Up on the bridge, a state-of-the-art navigation system helps captains counter tides and currents, see through thick fogs, and make sure the ship arrives on time. They also have an autopilot system that's guided by GPS to help locate other ships. And when they're cutting through narrow channels between islands, there's a lot on the line. One wrong move in these busy waters, and the ferry could run aground. So one lucky crew member stands by, ready to drop the machine's giant emergency brake, the anchor. If the engine fails, it's dropped immediately, bringing everything to a quick stop. But what if things do go really wrong and the ship has to be evacuated? Where are all the lifeboats? They're safe, sound, and out of sight. These lifesavers are inflatable. In the unlikely event of an emergency, slides blast out the side of the ship and passengers take a 5-story ride. Massive self-inflating lifeboats wait at the end of the slide. Designed specifically for ferries, it's the fastest evacuation system ever made. And it leaves passengers free to enjoy their crossing and the view from high above the water, while saving a multi-billion-dollar expense of having to build a bridge over 40 kilometers of ocean. Besides, who wants to drive over a static bridge when you can slide onto a moving one that does the work for you?